Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Po.
Have you taken your breakfast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Natutuwa ako because ang dami natin, no? Pero bigla akong kinabahan kasi meron palang foreigner. So, I would have to speak English from time to time.
It's okay.
Right?
It's okay. It's
Right,
okay.
Clement?
It's okay. Teacher.
It's okay. You can understand Tagalog also?
Well, it's okay. No problem. I can ask Marites. No problem.
Anyway, don't
Don't
worry.
mind me.
Anyway, the Holy Ghost will teach you more. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Salamat.
you. Yes. So, welcome to your live marriage and relationship counseling. This is the discussion of your future because we don't know what lies ahead. So, we will talk about the very foundation that you will have to build in fulfilling the lines that we usually hear na what is that line? They live happily ever after. Okay, we always hear that from fairy tales, no? Because people or this world is telling us that there is no happily ever after. This world is telling us that there is no perfect marriage. But this time, today, in this discussion, we will remove all those things that this world has taught us because we will teach you the truth, okay? Because we only have to rely in truth, not in theories, not in philosophy, but the truth, okay? So this is what we are being proud of. This organization holds the truth. We studied it for years, and this is what we are excited to share to every couple who are building a family, okay? The family is the foundation of every nation, and that is written in every constitution in every country except for communist countries. Before a country is established, they always start with a constitution. And what is the purpose of constitution? These are laws, you know, these are laws. These are the agreement between the country and the people. And the objective of that constitution, of course, is to make sure that we live peacefully, happily, and in prosperity. So that's the purpose. Walang masamang intensyon ang bawat batas, ang bawat constitution, but the problem is kapag ang isang constitution is not aligned in the original laws of the creator, of the manufacturer, if it's not aligned there, then Distractions sometimes happen. And you will wonder why we have lots of social ills everywhere we go, especially here in the Philippines. Bakit hindi natatapos ang poverty? Bakit hindi nagiging matibay ang pagsasama ng mag-asawa despite they love each other, they committed, they made vows to each other on the wedding day, why they separate later on? We will answer those questions because we did not allow to accept these things to be normally happen. We have to find answers to every problem. So that's what we did. We searched for solutions. Bakit maraming nagmamahalan, very sweet sila sa umpisa, sobrang sumpaan yung ginawa nila. But after a few years, why they give up on each other? So we need to find answers to that. Hindi dapat tayo papayag na, kasi ganyan, normal sa mag-asawa nag-aaway. Kasi normal lang yung problema. Kasi ganito ang ginawa nila. If we always give opinion beyond the design of the marriage, meron niyang consequences na trial and error. So whenever we give something or we need to give advice to something to address a particular problem, kailangan naka-align or it should be aligned to the original design. Okay? So we will learn more principles, more precepts about the marriage as we go through our slides. So this is from BCIDP Exclusive School for Couples. Many thanks for your attendance. I would like to acknowledge also the presence of our couples who will be who book us to solemnize their marriages. House rules, please take note. Not taking of calls or talking to each other during presentation. Tell me when you want to have a water share break. I hope you took your breakfast already because this will be a continuous presentation. Just respond when you're asked a question or like to get your side on the matter. Just feel free to give your insight. When you're both busy, the entire session shall be repeated from slide 1. Kung nakita kong busy kayo, ulitin ko lang uli. Are we okay with that? Thank you. Just call me Papa Angelo, the life mentor. Hold on. Why? Okay. Is there a shadow on top of my slides?
Yes.
Shadow.
Yes. Yeah, meron.
Hold on. I don't know how to remove this. Okay, I don't know why this is appearing. Maybe on my setting. Hold on. Give me 3 minutes. I'll fix this. Hold on.
Oh, no problem.
In this one, you click that. Here, here.
Ano?
Okay, very good. We don't have it now. Thank you. All right. Just call me Papa Angelo, the life mentor. I'm Angelo Ipase. I have 26 years of married life, and that is full of frustrations and magic. You know, at first you will experience frustrations in marriage when you actually don't know the design of the marriage. But when later on, when you learn it and apply them, you will have a truly magical relationship. I'm a retired religious leader also from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I retired already. I took up theology on the Manila Philippines Institute of Religion and other for home Bible studies during my youth days. So I started very early in my studies. I want to know the answer to every question. We came from a poor family, and I'm wondering why there are rich people, why we are not rich. So I need to find answers to that question since my childhood days. I took up psychology also in Arellano University. I got 2 bachelor degrees, political science and psychology from different university. Also, Katarungan Pambarangay Law at University of Makati. I took up paralegal studies also at UP Law School in Diliman. I took up postgraduate courses also in De La Salle, 3 postgraduate courses, Human Capital, Realty Laws, Professional Events Management. And in Ateneo, Graduate School of Business, Center for Continuing Education, Crisis Management, Negotiation, Training and Organizational Needs Analysis, and hundreds of seminars and workshops relating to our fields of specialization. I got 23 years of professional career in the private sector as a manager or support to the executives. So I'm trained to work under pressure. So these are my credentials. It's very quick. And these are my mentors also in the field of the laws of the land. Supreme Court Justice Adalberto Sandoval, retired, with Attorney Victor Eleazar of the UP Law and Arellano Law, who was also a senior partner at Puluganan Chapter and Eleazar Law Offices. So to specialize in our fields, we need to be equipped with different theories and studies and laws about these fields that we are offering, and that includes the marriage. Like this one also. And Usapang Mana. We were also interviewed by the Ateneo de Manila Law School students about mediating family disputes. And I was also interviewed by the Lyceum of the Philippines for the reasons of declining marriages in the Philippines. I'm assistant to Attorney Roger P. Nogales for 5 years. And I worked for Puluganan Chapter and Eleazar for 5 years with the Dean of the UP Law School now, Dean Fides Cordero. And because of that credentials, I'm being invited to speak at different universities, like this one in Our Lady of Fatima and Miriam College, Polytechnic University, media interviews, DCMM, ABS-CBN, Leader News Philippines, GMA7, Stand for Truth. Our businesses are close to the entertainment industry. Some of them are our clients. And my wife, who helps me in the business also, is being interviewed in the media. I'm the founder and managing director of these companies, Law Group, BCIDP Law Group, known as BCIDP Law Group Philippines. We also have this family and corporate mediation center with a retired court judge whom we invited to be our partner in the mediation center. The courts is not an option for every dispute. That's the objective of that mediation center. And we are the very first non-law firm family mediation center in the Philippines. Of course, di natin pag-uusapan ng mga legal na bagay sa isang hidwaan kung maayos naman sa mediation. My wife works at the Supreme Court as a mediator. And she's also being invited to speak at UMac, University of Makati. We have religious partners also, bishops and Catholic priests. We are not prohibited to perform outdoor Catholic weddings. And some are pastors also. So this is our advocacy. We are government's partner in building stronger marriage foundations, happier families, and individuals in the next generations. So I'd like to start with this principle that everything was created to function by law. It's the law that makes the sun orbits. It's the law that makes the moon replace the sun from time to time. Okay. It's the law that keeps us standing so we don't float, no? That is called the law of gravity. Everything was created to function by law, and that includes relationship. If you don't know the principles about relationship, then it will destroy your life. Okay, it will also destroy your future if you don't know how to handle relationship. Now the problem is, where do we get the right principles or the true principles in terms of relationship? Saan natin kukunin yung ating reference or source to let us know the truth? Bakit truth? Why we need to know the truth? Because the truth will set us free. Free from what? Free from worrying, free from troubles, free from disputes. When we know the truth, we know how to decide correctly. Okay? So we must remember also that relationship is a natural creation. Kagaya din ng puno na magiging mabunga lang with the right soil, in the right condition, and with the right cultivation. Magiging mabunga lang siya. Without the right soil, without the right environment, hindi mabubuhay ang punong yan. Okay? So, laging merong kapartner ang bawat creation. Laging merong something na dapat bumuhay sa kanya o dapat maging mayabong pagdating sa kanyang karelasyon, Parang kagaya din ng mga ibon, no? Mga birds in the sky. They complement each other. The air, you cannot take these animals from the air because that's the natural habitat, no? If you take them out of the natural habitat, kinulong natin, they are designed to fly, pero kinulong natin, naturally, sooner or later, they will die. The same with the tree. Hugutin mo siya, tanggalin natin siya. The tree will naturally die even without killing it. Okay? Why? Because we remove them from their environment. The fish in the sea, ganun din. They cannot live without water. You take them out of the sea, they will die naturally. Except for food purposes, of course. And the Creator has dictated the animals that we should eat. Okay? It's all there in the manual, in the manufacturer's manual. What to eat and what not to eat. Okay? Because there are dangers when we disobey the manufacturer's manual or the instructions of the Creator. So relationship is a natural creation also. Ang pakikipagrelasyon sa tao, intimate man or casual or social, ay natural creation din yan. And you need to know the laws about that. Sa intimate relationship between a male and a female, there is the marriage law created for that. But outside the marriage, meaning friendship, relationship, social community, socializing, the man created laws for that, and which we call ethics. Okay? So ethics ang tawag dun sa law na created by man in terms of socializing with people. But in terms of the manufacturer, when we ask about the manufacturer of human beings, he created a law that governs everybody. That is one of the greatest commandments given to us. Okay? So, relationship, since it started from the Garden of Eden between the male and the female, that relationship law is called natural law. Natural law means something that is not controlled by man or invented by man. Okay? Yan yung hindi nakokontrol ng tao at hindi rin na-imbento ng tao. If you will notice, we have feelings that we cannot control. May mga nararamdaman tayo sa ating mga karelasyon, family man or asawa, or outside the community, may mga feelings tayo na naka-built in, na hindi natin control. And that is called natural law. And what is natural law? According to Wikipedia, which I find to be very specific in defining words or things, it is conferred not by act of legislation, hindi imbento ng Kongreso daw, hindi imbento ng Senado, hindi imbento ng tao, but by God, nature, or reason. Hindi control or imbento ni numan. That is natural law. Now, violation of these natural laws gives instant punishment or results to disaster, domestic violence, or regrets. Okay? The moment you give conditions to natural law, that will destroy you. That will destroy your relationship. That will destroy your marriage. That will destroy your family if you give conditions to the natural law. So don't forget that principle. Also, this couple, because of violating the natural laws, their relationship ended tragically. No, this is a Greek guy and a British Filipina. They married in Greece. They got married in Greece, where they also met, no, in Greece. So their marriage with their 4-month-old baby ended tragically. So for us counselors, since we have studied relationship, we know what was the cause of the tragic. So this is what we are going to teach to you today para alam niyo how to handle each other. Okay? The more you know about the design of the product is the more you know how to be wise, how to handle your relationship. So remember that for every product, there is always a manufacturer, which I've been mentioning since the start of our presentation. Lagi yang merong creator for every product. Human beings are products also. And the manufacturer proved that you are also a product nung pinanganak tayong nakahubad. Hubot-hubad. That means we don't own anything. Wala tayong pag-aari kahit ano. Lumabas ka sa mundo without wearing anything. So that means you are also a product. At pinatunayan din ng creator, ng manufacturer, na wala kang madadala. Whatever riches you obtain in this life, hindi mo yan mabibitbit. In due time. Pag natapos na ang iyong expiry, or pag na-expire na ang iyong existence sa mortal life, you cannot bring anything. Okay? So that's one proof that we are also a product. Okay? So remember the concept of manufacturer and his products, the relationship between the two. Whenever you buy a product, there is always a manual. And that manual tells us the laws of the product. Manual means manu. Manu means the maker, and al is the mind of the maker. What was inside the designer when he created the product? It's there in the manual. The do's and don'ts. But sometimes we human beings, we always want to test. We always want to challenge the mind of the designer. We experiment. We experiment with the product until it gets destroyed. Okay. We don't do that in the relationship. Okay. We don't challenge the design of the manufacturer concerning his products, male and female. Okay. So every product has a purpose as it is designed. You don't just create a product for nothing. There is always a purpose, Hindi nagsasayang ng oras, resources at panahon ng isang manufacturer just to create a product without any purpose. Okay? Hindi ka gagawa ng isang bagay dahil trip mo lang. Na trip mo lang, halimbawa, you are a manufacturer of cars. Trip mo lang gumawa ng trolley, Hindi pwedeng trip lang ang bawat production ng produkto. There is always a purpose for that. Okay? So the manual of the law, the manual is the law of the product. Don't forget that. Any misuse or abuse may damage the product. Any experimentation may damage the product. So if you don't want to damage the product, you have to read the manual. You have to know the principles or the mind of the maker, why it was designed. So when there are things told by people not in accord with the manual, everything you say about the product is an opinion. If you say something about a particular product concerning the design and the purpose not in a line with the manual, so you are giving your opinion. Okay? The man's government is not the manufacturer of human beings. Remember that. Psychologists, psychiatrists, lawyers, religious leaders are not the designer or manufacturer of marriage, nor the human family. So if they say things beyond the design of the manufacturer himself, that's an opinion. Okay, so everything they say should be aligned before we can consider them as truth. So an opinion outside the manual is called tampering with another man's products. Tampering. You don't destroy another man's products. So let's talk about byproduct. When you get married, of course, you came from the manufacturer, you came from a maker, your products. When you unite, when your bloods unite, you call it marriage. And if you go back to the meaning of marriage, that is covenant in Hebrew. So the marriage rights is called wedding. Okay? And weddings is invented by men. Okay? It's only for a day. No, you will hear some lines that says a wedding is a day, a marriage is a lifetime. Yes, a wedding is only for a day because that is created by man. Okay? If we talk about marriage, that is for a lifetime. And if you trace the meaning of marriage, that is covenant in Hebrew. Okay? Covenant to God. A commitment to the creator, to the manufacturer, the one who created you both. That is called covenant marriage. So if you will notice, even though people are not married, the marriage laws are working to both of them. The natural laws of marriage are working even to those people who are not married, because the wedding is invented only by man. You are afraid, no? You are afraid of how people will judge you. Even the church will judge you if you are living together without the wedding. You're being accused of living in sin. Diba? Ang tawag sa atin ng simbahan, even ng mundo, that you are living in sin when you are not married. That's wrong. If you ask the manufacturer himself, am I living in sin even though we are not married? Of course not. Think of Joseph and Mary. They're not married. They're not wedded. I'd like to use the word wedded. Joseph and Mary was not married or wedded. Okay? No, God will not tell you that you are living in sin even when you live together. The moment you join your blood as male and female, you become one. You're making a covenant already to your manufacturer. The laws will automatically kick in, the relationship laws. His relationship laws automatically kick in the moment you enter into a relationship with your opposite sex. Okay? Don't forget that. So the byproduct of your marriage is called children. Okay? They all owned by the manufacturer or the creator. You are all owned by the creator. What else? Family. You become a family, which in according to our community, according to our world, your family is the smallest community. If you combine all of them, you create a barangay or a village. Located in other places, still they are called a community. So if you combine all of this community, you make up a country. Okay? So when a product is broken, where do you go to have it fixed? I'd like to ask someone here. I'd like to ask Clement. Clement, I want to know what's going on in your mind. When your particular appliance or product is broken, where do you go to have it fixed?
I go to the repair shop.
Do you have this feeling that you are more confident with the manufacturer himself, the authorized dealer?
No, of course not. But since I have no access to the manufacturer, I just rely on the repairman.
There are people who are called authorized repair shop, authorized dealer. They are the ones authorized by the manufacturer to fix their product because they were trained to know the design. The mind of the maker in creating the product was transferred to these people. Okay? So they know how to repair it properly according to the original design. So an average human being have this feeling, or even every human being have this feeling of confidence to the designer himself. So if you have a BMW car, will you bring it to Toyota for repair, Clement?
No,
Of course not.
no.
They are not the designer. So always remember that feeling, no, it's embedded. It's running in our genes to help to feel this way, to have a damaged product fixed by the manufacturer himself. So marriage, therefore, is not a product of the state, Congress or Senate, society, or even your mahadera mong best friend, no? Who is advising you na kapag di ka na masaya, malis ka na dyan sa relationship na yan. They are not the creator of the product, which we call relationship. We better consult the manufacturer. We better ask the maker so we would know the truth, so we can decide the right, so we can have the right decision. We can make the right decision. So in life, where do we rely? We need to have a guiding principle for us to have a peaceful life. There is a key to have a peaceful life actually, which is knowing the truth. You don't get just opinion or theory. You should rely to the truth. And how do you search for the truth? What is the meaning of truth? Let us address that first. Jed, can you share us the meaning of truth?
Hello po. Truth. Ano nga ba?
lagi natin naririnig, di ba?
Opo.
Oh. Truth means original information. Truth means original information. So if we want to know the solution to a problem, we need to go back where it all started. Diba? Even in the corporate world, even sa ating workplace, diba, Jed? Pag merong problema sa kumpanya, meron tayong issue sa kumpanya, para masolusyonan, binabalikan natin kung saan nagsimula.
Opo.
Tama, Jed?
Yes po.
Hinahanap natin yung source. Hinahanap natin yung pinagmulan. Sino ba nag-approve nito? Sino ba nag-request nito? Diba? Doon natin nakikita yung katotohanan. Thank you, Jed. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Yeah. So, truth means original information. Ulit-ulitin ko sa inyo para mas matandaan ninyo. Truth means original information. So, that's the only key to be free from away, from disputes, from misunderstanding, from miscommunications. You have to know the truth. Check from where it all started. So we are talking about your forthcoming marriage, your forthcoming lifetime decision. You have to have the first layer of the truth, because the following layers will be built up by both of you. We are building up the first layer of foundation for the both of you so you can make the right decisions, so you can have a perfect marriage. Now, people are telling me that there is no perfect marriage. Do you believe in that, Clement?
Perfect in what sense? Idealistic marriage? No, there are none, but there is
Okay.
certainly a relationship that is getting better and better, improving in love, in sharing within difficulties. So if we call perfect in that sense, yes, I think it exists.
It's possible,
And
yeah.
my
It
experience
exists, yes.
is I saw it in several countries of very successful marriage of people who love each other till the end. But
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it corresponds to the romantic or ideal view that we have, you know, in Hollywood or Bollywood or what would of
Yes.
marriage. That's it. In that
Okay.
sense, yes, I believe they are perfected marriage, yeah, but not idealistic marriage, yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
because we can see people, married people, despite their age, 80 years old or 90 years old, despite their age, they are very sweet to each other, right? We have
Opo.
seen that in many countries except for the Philippines. So if we saw a country with less crimes, if we saw a country with less poverty, then we can say that every house in the community, every spouse inside that house, every spouse, every married couples in that house, they may be very happy. That's why, and they may be giving the right guidance to their children. That's why they have less crimes, di ba? Thank you, Clement, for sharing. But I've talked to a lot of couples who they always say that because of us being imperfect, hindi daw tayo perfecto bilang human beings, that's why there is no perfect marriage. That's what they believe. That's what the majority couples believe na nakakausap ko. And I tell them, sino ba may sabi na imperfect tayo? Di ba? Umpisahan natin doon kasi sinasabi nila, hindi kami perfect human beings. That's why perfect marriage is not possible. So, tinanong ko sila, sino ba ang may sabi na imperfect ka? Unless you are disabled, di ba? Sino bang may sabi na imperfect tayo? Only the Christian world. Yung Christianity lang ang may sabi niyan to have an excuse for every sin that we make. Okay? Think about this. Kung hindi tayo perfect, halimbawa yung ilong natin nakabaligtad. No? Just one sample lang. Yung ilong natin nakabaligtad, the nostrils are facing the sky. And then it rains. Umulan. Ano mangyayari? Oh. Di ba? Just one question. If we are not perfect. Our bodies are created perfectly. It's all in the mind that we are not perfect. Lahat yan nakaposisyon ng tama. Tao lang ang may sabi because when God created the heavens and the earth and the human beings, He said everything was good. That's what you can read in the Bible. If you trace the original Bible, what's the meaning of good? In Hebrew, that means perfect. Good, the word good used in the Bible means perfect in Hebrew, in the original Bible. Kahit na i-trace mo pa yan. Here is the manufacturer telling us, I created everything perfectly, and that includes the human beings. That is the creator talking. So when you ask the human beings, no, I'm not perfect. I commit sins. Yan ang sabi ng human beings, not the creator. As an excuse for committing sin all the time. So if we accept the fact na normal lang sa mag-asawa nag-aaway, pag tinanggap natin yan, every time we quarrel with our spouse, we will always have difficulty in eating, difficulty in sleeping, difficulty in working. Everything was affected, di ba? Everything is being affected. Even though hindi pa kayo kasal, kahit boyfriend or girlfriend pa lang kayo, in a relationship or engaged pa lang kayo, pag nag-away kayo, nakakatulog ba kayo ng maayos? Hindi naman, di ba? Nakakain ba kayo ng maayos? Hindi naman eh. Nakakatulog ba kayo ng maayos? Hindi rin. Ipokrito ka pag sinabi mong hindi. Matigas ako. So kapag ganun ka, hindi ka affected, there's something wrong. That's a danger to a relationship. Dahil personality yan. Kapag hindi ka apektado sa pag-aaway ninyong dalawa, that will become future problem sa inyong pagsasama. Okay? So, hindi ko tinanggap, me personally, hindi ko tinanggap na normal lang sa mag-asawa nag-aaway. Bakit? It gives us stress. It gives us worry. Kaya, hindi normal yung nararamdaman mo kapag nakikipag-away ka sa karelasyon mo. Di ba? Your work is also affected. And according to science, according to medical doctors, ang pinanggagalingan lahat ng sakit ay stress. Meron pa tayong mga participants dito working in the medical field. I'm sure they will also agree with me. Now, that's the findings of science. Lahat ng cancer nagsimula sa stress. At kapag yan nag-build up, talagang magkaka-cancer ka. Okay? So, do not accept na normal sa mag-asawa nag-aaway. Bakit? Because you don't feel good. Do not accept. Kaya the moment na nag-aaway na kayong dalawa, tapos may kaibigan ka nagpayo sa'yo, hiwalayan mo na kung hindi ka na masaya. Do not listen. Dahil yung ba kayo nagpapayo sa'yo ay galing din sa destroyed relationship. Naghahanap ng damay yan. Okay? No? Hindi pwedeng ako lang yung malungkot. Dapat malungkot ka rin. No, these are negative people. Don't associate yourself with negative people. Hindi nakakatulong yung mga yan. Don't even listen to their stories. Tell them to go to the right person. Doon nila itapon yung junk na yan. Because when you listen to your friends, you listen to your kumare, to your kumpare, na nagtataksil yung asawa niya, tapos kinuwento sa'yo, pag uwi mo ng bahay, daladala mo na yung junk niya, daladala mo na yung problema nila. Pag uwi mo ng bahay, ito na, pinagsususpetsa mo na yung asawa mo. O ikaw ha, baka nang mababae ka na rin ha. Okay? You don't get the junk of other people. Tell them to talk to the right people. Because the moment you receive those junks, you will be involved in their relationship. Okay? Fewer Filipinos now. Bira na nagpapakasal daw, konti na lang. That was the news report 2 years ago before the pandemic. Talagang this pandemic really gave us a lot of problems. Destroyed relationships, destroyed families. But remember, if you have the right guide, you can make the right decision. So I'd like to move to, these slides are prepared for a whole day seminar. So I will skip some slides. Remember that when you get married, husband means the one who binds the house together. It's originated from the word house bond. It helps you understand kapag inintindi mo yung meaning ng bawat word. It will help you understand the original concept of every word. Where it all started, saan ito nagsimula, paano ito nabuo, itong salitang ito. So, it's the one that binds the house together. That's house bond. And of course, the meaning is more explained in this link from Bible study tools. The house bond is connecting and keeping together the whole family. Okay, so don't forget that. And it's a title given only to males. If you Google it, the original meaning of house bond or husband is the occupier and tiller of the soil, cultivator. That's why Every male human being have this feeling. The moment he gets married, there is a natural feeling to be the master of the house. But dahil ang tao may tendency to abuse in every way, nagiging diktador, no? Ang gusto sa asawa, lahat ng gawain sa bahay, asawa ng babae lang ang gagawa. Lahat ng hugasan, lahat ng labada, babae lang lahat gagawa. No? Which is unfair, di ba, ladies? No, Marites? Unfair, di ba? Gusto mo ba maging labandera the whole time of your life? Ha, Marites, payag ka? Oh, parang naririnig ni Clement. Hindi ka papayag, Marites, na maging labandera at katulong sa bahay for life. That is not your purpose. Oh, even yung mga wives natin dito, mga soon-to-be wives. So, si Mary Eleanor, si Sheila, si Mikel, Princess, si Raisa, Daniela, Janice, papayag ba kayo maging housewife lang? Ha, girls? Sagot kayo. Oo. Sa umpisa, of course, gagampanan ninyo yan. Di ba? Siyempre, pa-impress sa husband. Pero sooner or later, magsasawa din kayong gawin yan. Teka muna, bakit ba ako lagi naglalaba? Teka muna, bakit ako lagi nagluluto? So there is this natural tendency for the husband to abuse that natural feeling. Na ako ang hari. Oh, ako lahat ang magpo-provide basta magtrabaho ka sa bahay. So babaguhin ko yung konsepto nyo na yan. Okay? Babaguhin ko yan through different principles na binigay ng creator, ng maker. Okay? Now, of course, you will become a husband. And you will become a father. And what's the meaning of father? Adrian, can you please read this to us? Adrian, father?
So may definition. In the original pictographic script, the first letter is a picture of an ox, as the ox is strong. The letter also has the meaning of strong. The second letter is the picture of the tent or house where the family resides. When combined, these letters form the meaning, the strength of the house.
Thank you. Thank you, Adrian. So, in order for us to understand the word, we have to get the true meaning. Before the English or yung communication natin ngayon, before everything is here, there is this Hebrew writings, no? In history, I think we call that hieroglyphics. If you study history, of course, kailan lang naman na uso ang English language. That's only the time when the Roman Empire was split into different kingdoms, and one of that is the United Kingdom. Kaya nga, the British are more in authority in speaking English, okay? But let's go back to where this father was conceptualized. Ang mga tao before, whenever they describe something, they always connect it to the natural creation, no? Kagaya ng animals. How they describe animals, ganun nila dinodrawing yung isang salita. Ganun nila binibigyan ng meaning yung isang word, like the father. So they see the ox being strong animal. Saan nakatira ang family? Sa house, sa mga tent, no? Picture of the tent where the family resides. So when combined, father means the strength of the house. And many times in the Bible, God calls himself as Abba or Abba. And Abba means the source of every needs on earth, the provider of every needs on earth, the sustainer of every needs on earth. And as I've said, Father is the title given only to males. So when you become a father in your own territory, in your own family, grooms to be, you automatically become the source of every need in the family. You automatically becomes the provider of every needs in your house. You automatically become the sustainer. You have to make sure that everything in the house is provided. You have to make sure that your baby, merong gatas lagi nandyan, merong grocery lagi dyan, may bigas lagi dyan sa bahay. That becomes your role automatically the moment you decide to become a father. Any objection to that? MC Jason, may objection ka ba dyan?
Wala po, no objection, sir.
Kasi, mapapansin ninyo yung mga babae, and I'm sure napansin nyo na rin to. And I'm sure narinig nyo na rin to sa mga kanta. Even nung bata pa ako, narinig ko na yan. The women have this feeling na kung anong pera nila, pera lang nila. Kapag pera mo din, MC Jason, Adrian, Aaron, yung pera mo din, pera din nila. Magiging pera din nila yan. That feeling automatically kicks in the moment you get married. Di ba no, Mary, Eleanor? Kaya nga, sigurado pag tinanong ko kayo lahat, grooms, pag tinanong ko kayo lahat, alam mo ba kung magkano saving ng magiging wife mo? Yung savings sa bangko? Oh. I'm sure majority of you sasagot, hindi ko alam. I've also asked that in the past session. Hindi alam, kabisado. Hindi kabisado yung pera ng babae, ng makakasalan nila. Bakit? They have this feeling, natural feeling. Hindi nila control, hindi nila invento yan. That even science discovered that. Whatever you own, they own. Okay? Whatever they own, it's their own. Okay? Pera nila, pera lang nila. Because of this design of the manufacturer to the marriage. Na dati naririnig lang natin na chismis. Karamihan sa mga babae ganito eh. Oh, mahilig silang mamili, mahilig silang mag-shopping. Oh. Bakit? They have this natural feeling to buy everything na ikagaganda sa bahay. Everything na ikagaganda sa kanyang sarili. Kaya kapag pumangit, naging losyang ang asawa, ibig sabihin, hindi nagpo-provide ang husband. Hindi nagpo-provide ng pang-makeup, ng pang-lipstick, ng pang-spa. Masama sa loob nila yan na sila yung gagastos. Di ba? Tanungin natin yung iba dito. Daniela, are you there?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Daniela. Di ba? Ngayon pa lang na nag-decide ka mag-asawa, nararamdaman nyo na yung feeling na yan. Tama, mali? Daniela.
Hello.
You have that feeling. Every woman, the moment they decided to get married, that feeling will kick in. So, thank you, Daniela.
Thank you.
So after knowing all these truths, grooms, husbands to be, mag-aasawa ka pa ba? Mag-aasawa pa? Tuloy. Guys,
Opo.
tuloy ha?
Tuloy po.
Tuloy na tuloy. Matagal na kasal.
Tuloy. Okay. Now, susuportahan natin itong mga napag-usapan natin with what happened to the first relationship, the very first relationship. Because tandaan natin, the byproduct of every relationship between male and female, the byproduct is called marriage. Okay? And marriage is the very first institution in the world. Not the church, not the Congress, not the Senate, not the barangay, not even the barangay. The family created by marriage is the very first institution. Kaya babalikan natin yung nangyari doon sa Garden of Eden. That was where the family started, in the Garden of Eden. Para we understand more about it, mas alam natin yung sagot sa bawat problemang darating sa inyong dalawa mag-asawa. Okay? So I'd like to go to that. Oh, remember this, before I go there, I posed this question a while ago. Is perfect marriage possible? Yes, it's possible. How? Think of the cake. This is a perfect cake. For purposes of discussion, I'm declaring this cake to be a perfect one. Maayos sa pagkakagawa, maganda yung pagkakadesign, hindi natutunaw, at yummy, masarap kainin. A perfect cake is a result of process. Process of what? Process of careful research of the right steps. Ano ba yung dapat gawin? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Many bakers have established that already, and they shared it to a book called Cookbook. Na-share nila yan, pinag-aralan nila yan. At syempre, dahil na perfect nila yung steps, ikaw naman ngayon yung gagawa, you have to apply what they are telling you in that book. Tingnan ko nga, paano? Syempre, you will have to understand these steps that they are telling you para mas magawa mo ng maayos. What else? You have to get the right ingredients. Careful purchase of the right ingredients. Meron nga tayong mumurahin at mamahaling ingredients, di ba? We are more confident with the expensive ingredients dahil pag mahal, we have this mindset na maayos siya. Di ba? Kaya mahal. Kaya you get the right ingredients na hindi sisirain yung cake mo. What else? Right formula. You have to study the right formula. Paano ang mixture niyan? Gaano karami? At anong stage minimix yan? Everything. All these steps, all the ingredients, all the formula, you have to learn that. So, habang binabasa mo yan, of course, iniintindi mo, then ina-apply mo. That's the key to have your cake perfected. What else? Nasa tamang lugar ka ba? Baka mainit yung temperature doon sa lugar na ginagawaan mo ng cake. Baka pati yung mood mo, no? Wala sa ayos yung mood mo. Meron kang problema, worried ka. Of course, that is not the right time for you to create your product. Unless kaya mong kontrolin yung mind mo na kahit may problema ka, nakakapag-focus ka sa ginagawa mo. So, a perfect marriage is a result of a process din. What process? Careful research of the right person. That's why we always tell couples in every relationship session that we have not to get engaged very intimate kasi it leads to premarital sex. Kapag meron ng touching, pag meron na kayong mga malalalim na ginagawa sa inyong relationship, tapos hindi ka pa sure kung siya na yung tamang tao, that will destroy you in the process. So the right person ay hinahanap sa simula, hindi sa katapusan. Okay? Sa umpisa hinahanap yan. You have to know the right person. Paano? Get some guidance. Paano pinipili ang tamang lalaki? Ang mga babae, they are very confident to get the information from their fathers. Lalo na kung responsible yung tatay nila. They look up to their father for guidance on how to choose the right man. Di ba, girls? Sa tatay nyo yan kukunin. Paano piliin ang tamang lalaki? Now, the problem starts when your father is not like that. No? Walang may bibigay sa'yo na tamang guidance yung tatay mo kung paano piliin ang tamang husband, ang tamang lalaki. Lalo na kung siya mismo ay magulo ang buhay. Anong kukunin mong guidance? You will experiment in the process. And that will also destroy your life later on. Kaya marami nagiging single mother. Marami nagiging single parent. That is the result of experimentation. Subukan ko nga, baka okay na tong kasunod. Try ko uli, baka okay na tong pangatlo. Kaya makikita mo, iba-ibang tatay yung anak nila, yung anak niya. That's the result of experimentation in life. Hindi natin kailangan mag-experiment. The key is to know the information from the beginning. How to choose the right person. Kasi kung ang napili mo, yung karelasyon mo, nauna ang sex sa inyo bago mo siya makilala, then you are in danger. Ano mangyayari? Magugulat ka na lang, malalaman mo later on, sugarol pala siya. Magugulat ka na lang, sa bungero pala. And don't expect na magbabago siya after you sign the marriage contract. There is no miracle happening in the altar. Walang milagro nang gaganap doon. Habang pumipirma kayo ng contract, magbabago siya. Walang ganun, ha? Huwag kang aasa na magbabago siya. Pag pinakasalan mo yan na sa bungero yan hanggang sa dumaming anak ninyo. Okay? Okay. So, pag pinakasalan mo ang isang mama's boy yan. Hahanapin lahat ng ginagawa ng mama niya. I-expect sa'yo bilang asawa niya. Okay? Ganon din naman ang mga brides or women na daddy's girl. Kapag daddy's girl, they always look up to their father. Yung attention ng tatay lagi nasa kanya. All her life hanggang makagraduate ng college. Tapos nag-asawa. Oh, walang naman dumikit pa yung tatay niya dun sa inyo, di ba? Hahanapin niya yung mga ginagawa ng tatay niya sa kanya. From you, husband. Hahanapin niya yon. At kapag hindi ikaw yon, it will give the woman frustrations. Kapag nakita niya yung tatay niya sa bahay, responsableng ama, pinoprovide lahat ng pangangailangan nila, mahal na mahal yung nanay niya, tapos hindi ka ganon sa loob ng bahay, your wife will get frustrated. Husbands, narinig niyo yun? So, careful research of the right person. Kapag tinanggap mo yung lahat ng nakita mong problema, bago kayo nagpakasal, tinanggap mo lahat yan, yung nakita mong problema. Ibig sabihin, marami kang i-address na problema during your married life. Marami kang tatrabahuhin. Ha? Brides? Grooms? Kakaintindihan tayo? Pag tinanggap niyo yan, marami kayong tatrabahuhin. Bakit? Because in marriage, there is no turning back. There is no expiry date. In marriage. Right, Clement?
Yes, no turning back.
Yeah, no turning back. You have to address those problems that you see before marriage.
Tama. Yes, that's true. Pero, sir,
Yeah.
pero I have a question. Sometimes we discover the problem after after the
Yes.
marriage, but that's still possible to acknowledge them.
Yes. That's why you have the obligation to dig deeper before the marriage. Okay? You even have to check the senomar. Of course, di ba? Kasi magugulat ka na lang. Even, it happened a lot of times in our clients na she thought there was no marriage in the first place, so she did not tell that to her husband. She thought there was no marriage, it was just a simple play. Now, when the husband worked in the US and he started petitioning his wife, his children, then the truth comes out. I have that problem with my clients also. Why did you not tell your husband about that? Because I thought it was just a drama. I was 18 years old only that time. Oh, now the relationship is ruined by that non-disclosure. So, grooms, brides, disclose everything, huh? To your partner now. Disclose everything. Huwag na kayong maglihim. Dahil baka dumating yung time na 10 na yung anak ninyo, tapos tsaka lang malalaman. Nako po. Tandaan ninyo, ha? Remember this. Our annulment figures in this country tumataas on the 15th year ng pagsasama. We studied that. We checked the references. Lahat ng annulment cases namin dito sa office, even the annulments pending in court, according to Office of the Solicitor General, most annulment cases were filed 15 years after. The highest number. 15 years. Remember that. Kaya pag sa 20th year lalabas yung katotohanan, nako, asahan mo. Lahat ng pinundar ninyo, lahat ng mga pinagsamahan ninyong dalawa, they will all be gone. And you will die with full of regrets. Okay? So ngayon pa lang, sabihin niyo na lahat yan sa inyong partner. May nabuntisan ka dati, pero nasa abroad na, nasa Amerika na, dinala ng pamilya niya, at alam mong ikaw yung tatay noon, sabihin mo na agad, ha? Okay? Careful purchase of the right ingredients. Karakter ng tao. Paano ba siya pinalaki? Ng magulang niya. Yan ba ay tinuruan na magkaroon ng takot sa Diyos? Kasi kung walang turo about God, walang turo about takot sa Diyos, hindi yan matatakot sa batas ng tao. Our VAUSI cases is very high. Violence against women and children cases, they are very high, especially in this country. Because hindi na-check yung karakter eh. Eh kung lumalabas yung problema later on, that psychological problem, you still have to address that. Because lumalala ang psychological problem kapag hindi pinag-usapan. Kasi pag nagkakaproblema ng relationship, tahimik na lang tayo eh. Hindi na lang tayo kumikibo. Hanggang sa sumabog na lang tayo, malaki na yung apoy. Nasusunog na yung buong bahay, tsaka ka magre-react. Di ba? Maliit pa lang yung apoy, apulahin nyo na. Careful study of the right formula. This is what we are discussing. Right formula in marriage. So better listen to every word I say because I cannot repeat it again. What else? What else? Nasa tamang panahon ka na ba para mag-asawa? Is this the right person for you to get married? Because kung may mga pinag-aaral ka pang kapatid, syempre yung sahod mo, 100% they enjoy it. Attention mo, 100% they enjoy it. Then you get married. What will happen to your salary? Kalahati sa kanila, kalahati sa family mo. Oh. May naging kultura kasi sa atin sa Pilipinas na si tatay nagparami ng anak, nung lumaki yung panganay, nilipat yung obligasyon para pag-aralin yung mga kapatid. Oh. Hindi naman ikaw yung father. Anong meaning ng father? Di ba? Siya magsusustain, siya magpo-provide lahat. Siya ang source, hindi yung panganay. Naging kultura sa atin yan. Bakit? Merong maling turo. Ano yung maling turo? Humayo kayo at magparami. Hindi yun ang utos ng Diyos. Hindi ka lang iutos ang pagpaparami. The human being will automatically know that. Hindi ka lang iutos yung pagpaparami. So we will understand that more when we read the narration in the Genesis chapter 1, where it all started, where everything started. So is the foundation inside the family, the male or the female? We discussed it. It's the male. Kaya nga for a long period of time, laging God and male, si Adam lang ang kinakausap ng Diyos. Silang dalawa lang. Because God is building the foundation of humanity to the male, to one person, to Adam. And Adam means in Hebrew, the male or the human being species. So when God talks to Adam in the Bible, he is also talking to you, Clement, being the father, being the husband. He is also talking to Arturo. He is also talking to Jed and all the rest of you, the males here. Don't forget that. You are the foundation in the family. Nung una, nung elementary ako, naririnig ko yan. Tatay, haligi ng tahanan. Nanay, ilaw ng tahanan. Tama yun. Pero sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi na yan tinuturo ngayon sa school. Bakit daw? Kasi yung mundo ay nagtuturo ng equality. Yung equality na yan ay sumisira sa bawat pamilya. I will prove that to you later on. Do not listen to what the world is saying. Sisirain yan ang pamilya mo. Yung equality na yan. Now, let's go to remember that the bulk of construction budget goes to the foundation. That's how important the foundation is. According to Article 15 of the Philippine Constitution, the state recognizes the Filipino family as the foundation of the nation. This concept derives from a democratic principle. Okay? Na kahit anong bansa na makita mo na democracy, they consider the family as the foundation of the nation. And this is aligned to the manufacturer's manual. Tama yan. Kaya lang later on, as time goes by, kapag hindi alam ng tao yung takbo ng kanilang relationship, when both of them are already malfunctioning, the state gives guidelines. The state gives policy on how to resolve your problem. Makikita nyo mamaya na ang inaalok lang ng batas ng tao, kapag hindi niyo ginampanan ang role niyo sa isa't isa, ang binibigay lang ng batas ng tao ay nandito sa listahan, papakita ko sa inyo. Yeah. Rights and obligations of spouses. I will discuss this to you before we go to the event in Garden of Eden. This is written in Article 68, Family Code. Dahil dito kayo kinakasal sa Pilipinas, mag-govern sa inyo ang Family Code. Kahit na foreigner ang iyong pakakasalan. Clement, since you are a foreigner, I'd like to repeat that the family code will govern your marriage since you are getting married here in the Philippines. Okay? So you are automatically covered by our laws because your marriage was done here. Okay? Even though you belong to other country. Okay? So I will show this to you, the rights and obligations of each one of you. Rights mean something to which one has a just claim, such as what? Power or privilege to which one is justly entitled. Ibig sabihin, it's you already have that. You are embedded with that right. However, to have that right or to exercise that right, you have to do these obligations. They are twins. You cannot separate the other from one another. They are twins, rights and obligations. For you to enjoy your rights as a citizen, the state will ask you, are you doing your obligation? Are you paying your tax? Before you can enjoy these rights. Before any government will give you your rights, they will ask you, are you doing your duty? Are you doing or performing your obligation? So in marriage, before you can enjoy your rights as a wife, are you doing your obligation to your husband? As simple as that. Vice versa, husband, before you can enjoy your rights to have sex with your wife, are you doing your obligation to her as her husband? Okay. Okay. So as simple as that. Before you can enjoy your rights, you ask yourself first, am I doing my obligation to my wife or to my husband? Okay. So let's discuss this one by one. Number one, you have the right to defend the life and honor of the other. This is a criminal liability. Kapag hinayaan mong malagay ang buhay ng asawa mo sa alanganin, you are criminally liable. Article 11, Revised Penal Code. Number two, the right to cohabitation. So this is cohabiting to each other. It simply means physically living in one place. You can touch each other, you can see each other, as simple as that. Cohabitation. That's why problem arises when one of you leaves the house and work overseas. That's the danger of living separately physically. Okay? Right to sexual intimacy. You have that right. However, again, if you're not doing your obligation to one another, you cannot enjoy this right to sexual intimacy. Kung pagod na pagod si wife, kawo-work because the husband is not providing well. Pagod si Mrs. pag-uwi, bukas na lang. Gusto ni husband maka-score. O, pagod, katatrabaho si wife. Kasi si husband, happy na. Kung magkano kinikita niya, hindi na nagkakasya. Dumadami na yung anak, lumalaki na yung needs, dumadami yung bills. Kaya pag nawalan ng direksyon yung lalaki, yung babae ang nagiging masipag sa pagtatrabaho. Bakit? Trabaho ng husband yun eh. Kapag gustong umiscore ni husband, walang gana si Mrs. Oh, hindi maka-score si husband. Bakit? Pagod si Mrs. eh. O bakit? Bakit pagod si Mrs.? Bakit walang gana si Mrs.? Yung trabaho ng husband, siya yung gumagawa. Okay? Now, address ko mamaya yung question sa mind ninyo. Teka muna, Sir Angel, di ba dapat pareho nagtatrabaho, pareho nagpo-provide sa family? Hindi ko naman kayang ibigay lahat. Malamang may question na ganyan na umiikot sa isip ninyo. I will address that later on. Right to procreate, karapatan na magkaanak o magkaanak, tama, or magpaanak. Magkaanak. Okay? Magkaroon ng anak. Right to jointly exercise parental authority over the children. Parehong binibigyan ng family code ng batas para palakihin, kung paano tamang palakihin ang mga anak. Number 6, right to be supported by the other. Suportahan bawat isa. Na kapag si lalaki na wala ng trabaho, syempre, doon papasok yung income ni babae. Eh kung walang income si babae, she chooses to stay at home, take care of the kids. So paano yun? Nawala ng work si husband. Before that happens, you have to be ready. Okay? Spouses, dahil yung trabaho ninyo, kaya hindi nyo pag-aari, you have to have plans. You have to have savings. You have to have your own business someday. Dahil hindi tayo pinanganak para maging empleyado for life. Tandaan nyo yan. Because I also discovered that. Because sooner or later in your life, hindi mo natatanggaping masermonan ka ng boss. Hindi mo natatanggapin na sinisigawan ka na ng boss mo. Sooner or later. Baka maaga mong maramdaman yan, 35 years old, 40 years old, parang hindi mo na matanggap na sinisermonan ka pa. Lalo na kung umabot ka ng 50 years old. Empleyado ka pa rin. Sinisigaw-sigawan ka pa rin ng boss mo. Papayag ka pa ba doon? Diba? You have to be ready with all those events in our lives. And how to get ready with that? You have to understand that there is no master and servant concept in the manufacturer's manual. Walang master and servant concept sa Bible. The master and servant concept is invented by the Greek people. The philosophers, invention nila yan. There's only one master on earth. That's why God made sure that you have this seed to be fruitful. God planted seed to every male human being for you to be able to provide for your family. He made sure of that. Every male, mag-asawa man o hindi, that will kick in. That will automatically kick in. That feeling. You have this capability to naturally provide for your family. So one of your visions should be to create a business someday of your own. Because pag empleyado ka, pag-aari ng negosyanteng yan, yung trabaho mo. Kahit pa sinasabi ng labor law na property mo rin yan trabaho mo. Sabi ng labor law. That's also your property. Oh. Eh, anong sabi ng mga employer? Hindi. Pwede ka namin palitan. Anumang oras namin gusto. Lalo na kung mataas ka na, mataas na masyado yung sahod mo. Kukuha na kami ng bagong graduates na mas mababa ang sahod. Okay? So, paano ka na? So, what's the key? Add value to yourself every day. Huwag kang magsayang ng oras. Ngayon mag-aasawa ka na, husbands, grooms. Ngayon mag-aasawa ka na, magdagdag ka na ng value sa sarili mo. Anong value yun? Mag-aral ka na mag-aral. Specialize in one particular field. Don't be a jack of all trades but master of none. Ginagawa ng marami yan para lang makasurvive. But in order for you to have the right success, specialize in one field. When you become specialist na sa isang field na yan, you go to another field of your interest, you specialize again. How to do it? Start with the knowledge, understanding, then application. And that is written in the Bible, Proverbs 24, verse 3 to 4. To be successful in every endeavor in life, get knowledge. Step 2, understand the knowledge. Step 3, apply the knowledge. And you will have a house with rooms full of rare and precious treasures. Proverbs 24, verse 3 to 4. So, right to be supported by the other? Meron ka ring rights para supportahan ka ng wife mo the moment na nawala ka ng trabaho. At hahanapin mo, nasan yung pera mo nung tatrabaho ka pa, no? Sasabihin mo sa wife. Nasan yung mga pera mo, wives? Nung nagtatrabaho ka pa. Oh. Pinang-shopping ng pinang-shopping. Tapos, hindi nagpapaalam sa husband, shopping ng shopping. Oh. Nagagalit yung husband doon. At yung galit na yan ay hindi nila napipigilan, hindi nila imbento yan. Bakit? It's a natural feeling. Ha? Wives, tandaan ninyo. Kahit na sarili nyong pera yan, shopping kayo ng shopping, magre-react ang husband ninyo. Bakit? He expects that finances to answer the moment na incapable siya. Yun yung sinasabi ng Diyos na helper. Hindi dapat mangungutang yung husband sa labas ng bahay. Doon siya tatakbo sa wife niya. Ha, wives? Ikaw yung tatakbuhan ng husband mo pag nawalan siya ng pera. Ha, wives? Kaya wag magastos. Pag-aawayan nyo yan. Magagalit yung husband dyan. Hindi niya control yung galit na yan. Bakit? There was something violated. Ano yung violated na natural law? Disrespect. Na-disrespect siya. Na kahit sarili mong pera yan, pag may gusto kang bilhin, you have to tell your husband, you have to get the consent of your husband bago mo bilhin. Kahit na sarili mo pa yung pera. At wag mong sisitayin ng husband mo, ba't ka nagagalit? Pera ko naman to. Mas malaki nga yung pera ko sa'yo. Pag ginanyan mo husband mo, hindi ka nakakausapin niya. Ha, wives? Beware. I'm telling you this natural design of marriage. So, the right to be supported by the other, unless umalis ng bahay si babae or si lalaki. Okay? Siyempre sa manggagaling yung support sa lalaki. Pero sabi ng family code, binago nila yan na both of the spouses, both the husband and the wife now will provide to each other. Before the family code, before Cory Aquino rose into power, there was civil code. In the civil code, it was written na husband lang ang mapoprovide sa lahat. Husband lang ang source ng everything. Ang babae nasa bahay lang. Kaso sa paglipas ng panahon, dumami ang babaeng nakatapos, dumami ang babaeng professional, doktor, engineer, etc. Nagrereklamo ang mga wives. Kaya inilapit nila yan sa Kongreso. Hindi pwedeng nakatapos kami ng doktor tapos sa bahay lang kami. I-give up ko na ba lahat ng karir ko dahil nag-asawa ako? So in-address yan, lumapit sila sa simbahan, lumapit sila sa Kongreso to address that situation. We need to exercise our profession. Sabi ng mga kababaihan. Ayaw naming matenga lang sa bahay. Pinag-alala ko ng daddy ko, tapos gagawin lang akong housewife, gagawin lang akong tagalaba. Hindi po pwede yan. And that's where the family code was born. Pinagsama na yung obligasyon ng male and female. Batas ng tao pa lang ito pinag-uusapan natin, ha? Mamaya, I'll tell you the real design of the manufacturer. So pag kusang umalis ng bahay, entitled ba sa suporta ng isa? Hindi. Pag pinalayas, entitled ba sa suporta ng isa? Entitled. Pinalayas eh. Hindi naman niya gustong lumayas. Oh. Bigyan mo ng suporta. Okay? Ganon yun. Duty to live together in one home. Obligasyon ng bawat isa na makisama physically sa iyong pinakasalan. Duty ng bawat isa to observe mutual love, respect, and fidelity. Obligasyon nyo yan sa bawat isa, sabi ng family code. Before you can enjoy the rights mo, you have to perform this. Mahal mo ba ang wife mo? Gaano mo kamahal? Eh baka hindi niya maramdamang mahal mo siya, kaya ayaw tumabi sa'yo. Hindi niya maramdamang nire-respeto mo siya, kaya hindi ka rin niya minamahal. Ganoon ang ating relationship issues. Binigyan pa ng kondisyon ng batas, sabi dito, these are personal to the spouses and go into their intimate relations. Hence, must be performed voluntarily by them. Eh, paano kung ayaw? Sabi ng batas, sige, voluntary lang. Hindi dinikta ng batas ng tao, ng Article 68 na ito, na lagyan ng kondisyon. Voluntary lang daw. Hindi dinikta na whether you like it or not, you have to do it. Walang ganon. Duty to render mutual help and support. You are bound to support each other. This is my take on this duty. You have to give physiological, psychological, and spiritual support to one another. These three areas I studied were in relation to Abraham Maslow's needs of man, basic needs of man, the hierarchy that Abraham Maslow's created. No, there are three divisions in that hierarchy, and that starts with the physiological, the psychological, and the spiritual. There is, in Abraham Maslow's theory, there is no spiritual term. And that part is the connection to God, which Abraham Maslow did not describe as connection to the maker or connection to the human being. So you will give each other this mutual help and support. A spouse cannot be examined. There was an additional provision here that a spouse cannot be examined for any confidential information received during the marriage by anyone without the consent of the other spouse. Let's say, may inamin yung bawat isa sa inyo. Tapos later on, nag-away kayo. Gagamitin nyo against each other. Kung hindi siya pumapayag, eh hindi mo yun magagamit against each other. Okay? Without the consent of the other party. Inamin ko nga sa yan, tapos gagamitin mo against me. Okay? So, bawal yun. This also apply to investigations na halimbawa your spouse or yung asawa mo na subject to investigation for something na alam niya tapos walang consent sa'yo, that is illegal. So you have to give your consent for any information na ilalabas ng wife mo na confidential information na nakuha niya without your consent. Okay? So hindi niya pwedeng ilabas yun without your consent. Continue. Right to be loved and be comforted. Right to jointly fix the family residence. Right to manage the household. Right to exercise any legitimate profession. Right to give and receive moderate gifts to and from each other. Right to retain the ownership, possession, and administration of your exclusive separate properties. Kung may mga minana kayong ari-arian before the marriage, yan ay may karapatan kang i-dispose, ibenta, even without the consent of the husband. Article 70, under the obligation, spouses are jointly responsible for the support of the family. So ito sinasabi ko kanina. Both the male and the female na ang in-address ng family code. Samantalang yung creator, yung manufacturer natin, sabi niya, siya mismo nagsasabi, yung Diyos mismo nagsasabi, only the male. Pero pinantay ng mundo, ng batas ng tao. At doon lumalabas yung malfunctioning sa relationship. Okay? Na mapapansin nyo na nangyayari sa bawat mag-asawa. Okay? Because pinakialaman ng mundo ang design ng marriage. Kaya dumadami ang broken marriages. Paano kung hindi naman makapag-provide si wife, di ba? The husband will malfunction based on this knowledge. Ay, sabi sa family ko, ikaw din, magpo-provide ka din eh. Oh. The relationship will malfunction. Okay? Because the man will also expect the woman to provide. Both of you. Expenses for such support and other conjugal obligations shall be paid from what? Number one, community property. Ano man pag-aari ninyo, trabaho man yan. Or mga kumikitang kabuhayan. Number two, from income or fruits of separate properties. O sa pag sinabing property, it can be your job, your business, or the assets that you obtain from your family, inherited from your family. Kung kumikita yan, pagkukunan mo rin yan ng pangangailangan ng pamilya ninyong dalawa. Number three, in case of insufficiency or absence, o in case daw, walang ganito, wala kang business, wala kang pag-aari, wala kang minana. In case wala, such obligations shall be satisfied from their separate properties. So, di ba? Wala na ring mapuntahan yung batas. Sinabi na lang dito na bahala na kung ano meron kayo. Kung ano meron kayo, ilagay nyo dyan. Ibayad nyo sa bill ninyo. Okay? This amends Article 111 of Civil Code, obligating or dictating. No, for me, it's dictating the husband to support his wife and the rest of the family. So Article 111 yung Civil Code provision that tells us na husband ang provider. Now, Civil Code still the law enforced up to now, especially to those marriages occurred before the Family Code. The Family Code was enacted in 1987. So all the marriages that occurred before 1987, the Civil Code will apply. Duty to manage the household, consistent with the policy of ensuring equality between spouses. Ito na naman, equality na naman. Article 71 of Family Code, this shall be the right and duty of both spouses. Okay? Number 13 of your rights is to right to freely alienate your exclusive property without the consent of the other spouse. Number 14, the right not to waive interest, rights, and shares of the absolute community property during the marriage. Masyado na itong masalimuot. We will not dwell on this. Yung 15 and 16, ay na-explain ko na kanina. The obligations also, this change in the rules in the Family Code answers the cry of Filipino women that they should not be confined to stereotype roles, one of which is the management of the household. Wives would like the husband to share this responsibility, like worrying about the high prices of food and family necessities, making both ends meet, helping the wife with chores during maid absence, taking care of the baby at night, especially if both spouses go to office or work during the day, etc. So these are addressed. These have been addressed in the Family Code. Dahil daw both spouses are working na, Paano pag pagod si wife tapos yung bata umiiyak? Kailangan ba yung nanay lagi magpapadede ng bata? Kahit puwet na puwet siya. So kailangan daw pati husband gigising, magtimpla ng gatas. Ha, husband? Sabi ng family code yan, ha? Wala namang masama doon kasi anak niyo yung padidedehin niyo, ha? Just do it, okay? So just do it. Duty to fix the domicile. Couple must both decide as to the location of their conjugal home. Saan titira? Kailangan pareho kayong sasagot ng yes. Hindi pwedeng si husband lang yung nagsabi na yes, dito tayo sa tatay ko. Dito muna tayo. Kailangan sumagot din ng yes si wife. Dahil pag yes lang, isa lang yung sumagot ng yes, tapos yung isa hesitant, eh magkakaproblema kayo in the next few months. Okay? Sa loob ng bahay. Dahil bahay yun ng tatay nyo. Ha? Bahay yun ng tatay ni wife or husband mo. So, you will experience problems later on. Ano yung mga problems? Eh, pwedeng makialam ang parents ninyo sa inyong relationship. Nandun kayo sa teritoryo nila eh. Okay? Pwede silang mag-correct sa lahat ng ginagawa ninyo. O, hindi ganyan tamang pagpapalaki sa bata. O, kaya nga yung mga apo eh, ini-spoiled eh. Okay? Ini-spoiled yung mga apo. Okay. Pag nakita nilang hindi maayos ang pagpapalaki ninyo sa inyong anak, they will take over. Okay? Ganon ang nature ng mga magulang. Ha? Now, Jed, can you read this to us, please?
Yes po. Remedies when a spouse fails or refuses to comply with marital duties. Lahat po, 1 to 16, ay 17.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Number 1, annulment of marriage. Number 2, declaration of nullity of marriage. Number 3, legal separation. Number 4, action for support. Number 5, action for damages. Number 6, action for receivership. Number 7, judicial separation of property. Number 8, action for guardianship. Number 9, action for sole administration of property. Number 10, judicial admonition of spouse. Number 11, judicial declaration of presumptive debt. Number 12, summary of judicial proceeding. Number 13, action for injunctive relief. Number 14, contempt action. Number 15, criminal action. Number 16, administrative action. 17, protection order.
Okay, thank you, Jed. Jed,
Yes po.
Jed, may napansin ka bang remedy or solution na preserving the family?
Parang wala po.
Wala ka nakita, no?
Wala po.
Wala, di ba? So ito yung solusyon. Ito yung solusyon na inaalok ng batas ng tao kapag kayo ay nag-aaway na. Samantalang ang sabi ng Constitution, the family is the foundation of our nation, di ba?
Opo.
Ito yung sinasabi ko na hindi kasi sila yung designer ng marriage. That's why they can only give opinion. Opinion ito ng tao. Ikaw ba pag kinasuhan ka na ni Sheila, ang pangalan ni ano mo? Sheila ba? Sheila? Tama? Sheena.
Opo.
Jed, pag kinasuhan ka ni Sheena, gugustuhin mo ba makisama?
Wala, hindi na po.
O, di ba? Nasa
Opo.
korte na. Alam
Opo.
naman makisama ka pa. O, yung protection order na yan, galing sa barangay yan. Ibig sabihin, lumabas ng komunidad yung problema ninyong dalawa. Umabot sa barangay.
Sir,
O,
may question po ako.
Sige, Jed.
Arturo po.
Arturo.
Regarding po dyan, sinasabi nyo nga po na parang lahat yan more of to support na parang yung magpaghihiwalay nyo na nga. Pero ano po yung number 4, si action for support? Hindi ba siya makakatulong sa marriage nyo?
Suporta na yan. Ibig sabihin, hiwalay na kayo ng bahay. Hihingi ka ba ng suporta kung nasa loob ka ba ng bahay?
Parang support na paghiwalay nyo pa rin po talaga siya. Okay.
Yes.
Ayan.
So, So all of these solution na inaalok ng family code ay walang preservation of the marriage na intent. Di ba? Last resort na to eh. Meron ako napansin dito. Judicial admonition of spouse. Number 10. Judicial admonition of spouse. Tinanong ko yung isang judge. Judge, tungkol saan ito? Ito yung lalapit ka sa korte para humingi ka ng tulong sa judge na sabihan yung asawa mo na mahalin ka. Para utusan yung asawa mo na irespeto ka. Court order. O Arturo, kapag kumuha yung asawa mo ng court order para mahalin mo siya, matutuwa ka, Arturo?
Syempre hindi po.
Imagine mo kung lumapit pa sa korte para lang sabihang mahalin mo siya. Hindi nakakatuwa yung solusyon na binibigay ng tao. Okay? Solusyon na binibigay ng batas ng tao. Hindi nakakatuwa. Kaya malalaman natin yung design ng marriage talaga. Kailangan na natin mag-break. Time check is 11:53. We will resume at 1 p.m. Pero we have 7 minutes to address your questions so far. Any questions? By 1 p.m. we will go to the original design of marriage that occurred in the Garden of Eden. Kasi mahabang discussion yun eh. So we have to do that by 1 p.m. Any questions so far?
Wala naman po.
Wala naman po.
So, malinaw na sa inyo
Wala
lahat
naman po.
Thank you. Malinaw na sa lahat yung mga napag-usapan natin. Any violent reaction?
Wala naman po.
So far, so good. Wives? Hindi kumikibo yung mga wives yung mga soon-to-be wives.
Wala naman po.
Wala naman, ha?
Wala naman po.
So, let's take a break. Lunch na tayo, ha? Clement?
May isang
Marites?
question, sir. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yung,
Clement, please.
yung PowerPoint, available na to?
What is that?
Yung PowerPoint, your PowerPoint, is it
Yes.
available?
We can give this copy to you.
Okay, sige. Salamat.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I'll see you at 1 p.m., ha?
Sige.
Okay po.
Okay.
Tanong ko lang po, are we leaving this call or hayaan lang po natin naka-connect muna?
Mag-enter ulit kayo so I can cut the recording.
Okay, sige po.
Use the same link.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Okay
you
po.
guys. See you at 1
Okay po.
p.m.
Salamat.
Thank you po.
Bye.
Yes,